All right, so empirical formula, okay? Empirical formulas are going to be a formula that shows the symbols for the elements, right? Chemical symbols, that's not changing, in a compound with the subscripts showing the smallest whole number mole ratio. So smallest whole number mole ratio. So this says for ionic compounds, we're already used to reducing things down. We pay attention to those subscripts. We know that if they're ionic, if it's a metal with a nonmetal or anything like that, we take those subscripts as far as they can go, right? For molecular, we don't do that. So this is more towards molecular stuff. You're going to see a couple ionic examples today, but it's for that molecular thing. And what you're doing is you're bringing these subscripts down to their simplest whole number ratio. So for example, they gave you B2H6. So this was a 2 to 6 ratio. Looking at that, right, if you had 2 over 6, your math teacher would say, okay, you got to simplify, right, or reduce. So you would have taken that. Okay, both of these can be divided by 2, so it was a 1 to 3, which is exactly what you see. So this is the empirical formula for that. All right? Okay, so once again, this is a molecular formula. Empirical is like the simplified version of it, all right? And it's really, really big for our molecular compounds, okay? So if we have an example like this over here, so you're looking off to the right on your paper, and I see Fe2O3, right? So if we have a 2 to 3 ratio, what can you tell me? Is that the molecular or the empirical? It could be molecular. Actually, that was a trick question. Sorry. It can be molecular. Actually, it is. But it's also empirical because that can't be simplified anymore, right? It can't go down any further. It's a 2 to 3 ratio, so it stays what it is. This is your empirical and molecular formula, all right? So they can be both, and you'll see those couple of examples. All right. Whereas number 1 right next to it had a 6 to 12 ratio. Is that an empirical formula yet? No, because that one can be reduced to what? The ratio. What should the ratio be? 1 to 2. 1 to 2. So CH2. Okay?